Good morning, YouTube. My name's Alaway, and today we are starting an adventure in Resistance: Fall of Man. Now, this is a relatively old game. I've beaten it myself a couple of times. Not necessarily on this PlayStation, but I have finished it a couple of times. So, we're gonna hop on here and play some of this. Maybe we'll get a chance to do it too.
The Chimeran threat began in Russia. The origin of the virus is unknown, but its effects were devastating and swift. In the 1930s, reports of biological experiments began leaking out of Russia. Then reports of villages destroyed overnight. Then entire cities. We feared the Russians had developed a weapon of unparalleled power. The truth was far worse. The Chimera stayed sealed within Russia for over a decade. Then, in 1949, they launched an attack that overwhelmed all of Europe in a matter of weeks. For several months, we thought England was safe. But in October of 1950, the Chimera burrowed under the Channel. We had prepared for them, but in 3 months' time, the war was lost. We abandoned the cities to the Chimera and retreated to scattered military bases and outposts. The Chimera had won. On July the 11th, 1951, the Americans launched an assault on the eastern coast of England. On the second wave of that assault was a sergeant named Nathan Hale. The actions of that soldier have become a matter of both scrutiny and myth. What follows are the known events of his life, from July 11th to July the 14th, the day he was last seen.
I find it ironic that he sticks a knife there even though we don't actually get to use the knife in the game. And correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't those lieutenant bars on his collar?
We're good to go!
Soldiers had no idea what they would soon be facing. The US government had sealed its borders in 1950. Radio waves and newspapers became state property. Only the highest levels of their government knew the truth. The operation was an exchange. The Americans were bringing supplies and tanks into York. We were giving them our one secret weapon, something we could offer that they couldn't build themselves. I was the commander of the convoy team that was to meet the US soldiers. We were ambushed in Manchester on the way to the rendezvous. There was no way to warn the Americans. They were on their own in York, fighting an enemy they knew nothing about. We never learnt exactly what happened there. All we know is that Nathan Hale was the sole survivor.
Go! Go! Go!
Lieutenant Bars. Oh, no, that could just be a United States uniform of the era. The Gauntlet. Operation Deliverance, York, England. 11th of July, 1951. 0613 GMT. I don't know what the GMT stands for. I'm not that well educated.
What's that say?
Press the start button to begin. So much for minigun support.
We're getting out of here! Dabrowski! Sir, your squad! Go now!
We could probably split screen this actually. Then I don't have a plug for this. Alright. Documents. Okay. Alright. So on this account, I've played this game for in a good bit of time. So I'm gonna try and read the weapons as read stuff as we get them. So while my guys are dying, let's go into our weapon, the M5A2 carbine. The M5A2 Folsom Carbine is the standard issue rifle of the U.S. Army Rangers. The Folsom is nicknamed the Paddle for its wide wooden stock and ability to spank an enemy. M5A2 uses the same .303 round as the British rifle NO.6 Mark 6. Pressing L1 fires the underslung M2000 40mm grenade launcher. The M200, my bad, uses high explosives, which can immediately multiply the firepower available to an individual soldier. Alright. Locations. York. I believe you get this. Oh, this is just a picture. Chimera. Hybrid. Hybrids are the foot soldiers of the Chimeran army. They are a savage enemy, but also keen and tenacious. Hybrids quickly learn the methods of their adversaries. They already display expertise in British army tactics. Beyond their adaptive nature, the most obvious attribute of hybrids is their sheer numbers. Hybrids have overwhelmed humans on every battlefield since the Chimeran invasion first reached Britain. Until the day Nathan Hill came. Vehicles. Oh, might as well. Dropships. Nope, not that one. Tank. There we go. That's the British P1117 Kingfishers derived from early iteration of the American UAV-17. The Kingfishers are exceedingly able at inserting soldiers into combat situations. Fortunately, the Chimera have responded to this ability with the Stalker AA platform. At present, all remaining Kingfishers are in the service of British intelligence. They have been largely relegated to a role of aerial reconnaissance and combat coordination. Go figure. And that's... Alright, let's go. So yes, I am playing this on hard, so I'm going to play a little bit of tactics here because, it's actually really loud. But because,
Thanks, we got here.
Oh, to throw grenades. Frag out. Alright, I suppose I'll read the grenade thing. Frag grenade. An L2 fragmentation grenade is a standard issue anti-personnel munition used throughout the British Armed Forces. Grenade has an exposed fuse which releases irritating smoke prior to detonation. While not hazardous in the quantities produced, it does discourage target from picking up and throwing back the grenade. Fragmentation grenade is ideal for assaulting entrenched enemy positions or attacking around corners. Dial down the hopefully, you won't be able to hear the audio through the mic again. Die. Ammo, I suppose. Yay, reinforcements. Let's do this. Charge. Bullets. Right, so apparently where all these guys dying is just partially to give you more bullets. But,
They've got enough on us! Lightner! Target the hostiles on the balcony!
alright, there's some level of physics involved with that. Ow. Yes, well, alright, well, on the bright side, you know, checkpoint, full health.
They've gotten up on us! Thunder! The hostiles on the way!
Yes, there we go. Clear. Clear. I'm guessing we're clear. More bullets, thank you. Okay. Oh, nope. Right. This is... I'm pretty sure there was a document around here somewhere, but I might have picked it up already. Ooh, grenade. What is the point of carrying a knife if you're not going to use it? More ammo if you actually need it that much. Right. I'm going to stop messing around now. So... okay, I won't spoil it, but later on in this game, you do obtain the ability to regenerate your hand, and you notice in the 4 segments below, it's kind of like the cutoff point. If your health drops below a fourth, it separate in fourths. If you lose a fourth, that you have to obtain a med pack, or the game's equivalent of a med pack, in order to obtain that amount. It's kind of like the system used in Medal of Honor Airborne. Although, Jesus Christ, melee in this game is a beast. Alright. Walking tank, he says. Oh. Okay. That, didn't work. Well. Yep. So, I'm fairly certain the next encounter is gonna kill me. I'm not very, Okay, so, this is kind of like the series is, Oh. This is like the signature of the series, the bullseye. Why is it referred to as a bullseye? Because... Simply because if you can tag an enemy... Ow. The secondary fire on the bullseye fires a tag... I assume they're dead. And when tagged, all bullets will fly into that enemy. it is very effective when you need to hit certain points on an enemy. It's also very effective. It's also very effective at clearing rooms. What's that? Wow. What's this? Document. Okay, line 11-751. Line medic observation. Creatures entered through the airway. Some remain outside to mend injuries. Injuries are self-inflicted, bruises, and lacerations. Victims compulsively try to tear creatures out of themselves. Comatose state, no pain response. Rapid shallow breathing, static pupils, feverish temperature, profuse sweating. Dehydration appears inevitable if they remain where they lay. Enemy sometimes kills outright. Other times infects bodies, leaving them comatose. Found 2 uninfected corpses with flesh almost entirely eaten away. Infected bodies are left alone. Alright, well, that's some foreshadowing of what's to come. I'm not gonna survive this next encounter. But YOLO, America. Survive this again either. Alright. Okay. Took 3 tries to figure out my mistake. I'm gonna guess all my guys got shot. Oh no, they didn't. Well, they're about to.
More of it!
Oh. Totally forgot. Bullseye. This is a document for the bullseye. Normally, you would get it available the moment you pick up the weapon, and it pops in your face. But since I had it already, the bullseye is the Chimera main battle rifle. It has a rapid cyclic rate and a high damage capability. Pressing L1 fires a homing tag. Once a foe is marked, the tag will draw the bullseye's primary fire. Skillful placement of the tag allows entire magazines of ammunition to be placed on a target from the safety of cover. It is also very effective against fast-moving targets. Alright, so that's a hint to simply tagging an enemy, and then hiding from cover and just shooting into the air, and all the bullets will like arc towards the target. Okay. From this point on, oh Jesus.
Looks like the squad got it bad. Come on, let's get to the depot. Double time.
Alright. Okay, so I'm definitely missing documents here and there, but you know what, I'll probably just do a mass reading of all the documents at near the end of the game, probably. Or once I move on to the next area. Cutscene.
Captain, you seeing this? What the hell is that?
Now,
No one knows exactly how Hale was infected by the Chimeran virus. Our only clue is a journal entry recovered from the body of a US medic. It says that he encountered a number of comatose soldiers in a dry creek bed. One of the soldiers, a sergeant, suddenly woke up. Unlike the other soldiers, his body had no wounds at all. The sergeant refused any kind of medical examination, insisting on catching up to the rest of the company. If that sergeant was in fact Nathan Hale, then he remains the only known person to wake up after being infected. Whether the Chimeran virus mutated within him, or whether his body had an innate resistance to it, remains a mystery.
okay. So that document we found earlier about the person about these people being infected, and I mean not infected, but being comatose without any injuries. Well, that's basically what happens. Those little creatures those roach-like creatures that just were climbing into Hale's mouth, that is how the infection initially spreads. Or rather, that's how they deliver the virus.
Hey, Sarge, you alright? They told me Arrow 2 was wiped out. Come on.
Okay, let's go. So, I'm gonna guess this is the medic in question. The one whose journal stated that he found one of our guys alive.
Damn these things!
As I'm gonna guess, or he was very fast at writing it between the time it took for us to stand up.
The Brits. Watch it!
Alright, first encounter. Oh yeah. Alright, crawlers. Things that infect us. Crawlers are small beetle-like creatures used to spread the Chimeran infection. Though capable of limited flight, most often delivered by spire missiles. Upon finding victims, crawlers penetrate their bodies, usually through the mouth and nose. Tell me those things can fit through your nose. They inject the Chimeran virus and quickly expire. The infected host falls into a coma as the virus begins the inexorable conversion of the host into a Chimeran creature. Leaper. Crawlers which fail to infect the host will eventually evolve into leapers. They first seek out sustenance such as human or animal corpses. Once they've gorged themselves, they develop a protective pupae, the leaper pod. They spawn from their pods upon maturation. The voracious young leapers attack most with teeth and claws. They should be dealt with at range whenever possible. Easily handled individuals, leapers are lethal in large numbers. Oops. Alright. Well, I once again missed a document. I'm guessing it's somewhere in the beginning of the level. Well, there goes my guys. I can't protect them from all the way over here. Alright, well, there went all my support. You'd think one of them would be carrying some grenades, too. Alright. Did I just run in a giant circle? No. Okay. So there's also a document around here somewhere. I forget where. Which pertains to this vial here. Generation. Alright. Medical Journal, Dr. Ian Coxon. Further research into Chimeran physiology suggests their rapid regeneration ability may be the result of more than their metabolic rate alone. We have known for some time that sufficient damage will kill a Chimera outright, or leave it with lasting wounds that the creature cannot heal. But recent research suggests that the Chimera have developed a symbiotic bacteria which complements and amplifies their healing abilities. The bacteria suspended in a viscous yellowish fluid. Our researchers have dubbed it the Simbac serum. We believe that bacteria is likely destroyed during the healing process, which means that the Chimera would be further dependent on further injections of the serum as they sustain more damage. Which now that we're part Chimera, due to our infection of the virus, is now compatible with us. Again, maybe a nice little observation of the specimen. You'll notice it has very human-like features, except for, you know, the 6 eyes. And we will get to see that. That gets answered later on, down the line. And I believe one document is also back here, which is this one right here. Keep America out of foreign wars. Ask, why are we fighting? The Department of War's budget has increased by an average of 60% per year for the last 5 years. This is more than triple the size of the American Expeditionary Force. Will ours be the first generation in the history of the United States of America to engage in foreign aggression? Remember, answers come from questions, not bullets. Roger, your representatives. Tell them to stay out of Europe. Say no to foreign wars. And then the Chimera overrun the U.S. as well. Spoilers for the series. Overrun U.S. Where are you pacifists then, huh? First ones to probably go down when the Chimera... Oh, shit. Chimera. A lot of... That is a lot of... Drag out. Probably not a good idea for me spamming all my grenades like this. All arrow units came in today. They bought it. Well, there's still one person left of arrow. What's that tank? Yes. Well. Okay. That's a tank. And vehicle. Sabertooth. The M12 Sabertooth is the U.S. light battle... That's supposed to be a light tank? Alright. The main turret sports an 80mm rifled tank cannon and a 20mm Gatling gun. A 50 caliber anti-personnel machine gun is mounted on a coaxial turret. A notable element of the tank's design is its ability to carry for short distances by VTOL transport. Saber-tooth brigades are commonly flown in for the final leg of an attack known as the pounce. Alright. Well...
We lost King 6 on Kilo Road.
Yes, thanks to a kind reminder from Minecraft, I've noticed that the recording is time to cut recording. So, I will cut here and see you in the next video.